I've got a bit of a bone to pick with y'all. This one is not fully formed in thought, but I wanted to talk about it because this is something that has been in history, in our upbringing, in how we have relationships with people, how we treat people. And it's the energy of owing, that tit for tat, that eye for an eye, that give me your first child contract we signed in trillions of lifetimes ago, maybe in the last life. It's the owing energy that is a massive energetic contributor to always being in debt to somebody. So this conversation has been coming up in client conversations, in personal conversations, in a bar session that I did with a friend of mine. We were trading and we were talking about her ex and this energy of like kind of sabotage energy and resistance from certain clients. She's like, I know they're out there, but why are we not attaching, or why does it get kind of funny? And this owing piece showed up in how when we feel like we owe someone, it's not, nothing gets created from true contribution and true creationship with everything. And if you're in the spiritual community and you've heard this before, maybe this resonates, maybe it doesn't. If you've got different thoughts, let me know in the comments below. Let's have a chat about it. Maybe you know something I don't know. Maybe you've heard something slightly different. But what I've heard is karma is clearing up. And I have a perspective on that from what I know is when we destroy and create these contracts that we have held for lifetimes of owing or being owed something, when we say that's no longer that's like void, it's destroyed, uncreated, no more oath vows, no more blood vows, no more anything, no more contracts that bind us into this cycle of karma or cycle of owing, we clear that shit up and we actually can come to the table with way different energy, way more contribution, actually be in true contribution from my perspective. And I think we have the power to clear up so much just by saying we no longer play in this game, and anything where we're holding it, we clear, and anything where we're being held to, we no longer need to owe that up. Okay, well, but before we get into that, thank you so much for being here. My name's Akeisha. This is the Let Go Movement podcast. And on this podcast, I have got guests that bring us different perspectives. And I also share my perspectives, things that are working for my clients, things that are coming up in my world. And I've recently had a couple episodes that were extremely personal. And I did not release this episode on the scheduled Tuesday because I've just experienced a death in my family with someone who I recently talked about in 2 episodes ago, or 3 episodes ago now, maybe. And I brought up a scenario where this person in my life, I had overheard something between people, and it was a very formative experience in my world and how it amplified this feeling of burden in my life. And I was doing so much clearing around this recently, and I was really unpacking that for myself. And I got to a space where I was like, wow, I've been holding on to this forever. And now I'm ready to let that go. And I've been letting it go. And it's been beautiful in my own world to see how that's changed my relationships and my conversations with myself and with people really close to me. And then that person passed away. And kind of rocked my world because I was seeing our relationship and what's possible from here on out in such a different light. And the universe, God had a different choice, and he had a work accident and is no longer with us. So I'm not going to cry on this podcast, but that's why I didn't do my scheduled Tuesday. So I was going to bring up this conversation on Tuesday. That's when I found out the news, or on Saturday. And that's when I found out the news. So there was no recording of anything for this week until now. And it's interesting because Monday I went into my bar session, and this is where this conversation actually really expanded. And I don't think I could have this conversation Saturday the way that I could have it now. Now, like I said, it's not fully fleshed out. Maybe you've heard this before. Maybe this is prominent in your world. Maybe you have been looking at these energies and being like, yeah, what the F is this energy? And like, no more. Like, we're done. We're done creating from this sense of ownership and owing and being in debt to somebody, and what that ultimately generationally creates is a sense of lack. And also where this conversation pulls in tethers is this sacrificial way of operating and looking at things as a sacrifice, which is ultimately rooted in debt and which is ultimately rooting in lack. And I truly, 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 truly believe that is a form of control mechanism and programming that keeps us in a cycle that ultimately doesn't allow us to be in our true form of total freedom, with like free will, essentially. So this is the conversation today. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for being with me. Before we get into this conversation, there is something that I want to talk about because doors are open. We are welcoming women in, and we start on September 29th. And even though I'm going through my process with the grief of a family member, flying back to Canada to be with my family, I want to celebrate. I landed in my new apartment, everybody. I am no longer shuffling my shit around from house to house, watching people's pets, watching people's homes. Yes, I'm going to pack up a suitcase and go back to Canada for a little bit to be with family, and I'll be living in amongst my family's lives, which is, I was really looking forward to just chillaxing in my own space, but that's okay. I have my own space and I'm not having to pack up all my shit, and essentially my life is going to, be grounded here in this apartment. So very grateful. But the thing that what I am welcoming women into is the Soul Embodiment Lab. It's an 8-week series. I've partnered with a beautiful human design facilitator named Tara McFarlane. Beautiful lady. I love what she does with human design. I love how she works with clients. She comes from civil engineering background. She comes from very strategic, very like right and wrong, yes, no, have to make the things work. Industry, very, very masculine industry. And she's been able to help women incorporate their human design to better their life and their career. We're partnering together because what we noticed was people look at their design, myself included as a manifestor 5/1. I looked at it and I said, what the fuck do I do with this information? How do I even implement this into my life? And we also notice all this resistance that comes up when we're starting to be in our design, when we're starting to use our authority or our strategy so that life shows up for us with more ease. We have all this resistance, and when we clear that, when we allow what is not ours, when we allow the energetics of the programming to shift and release, then women are starting to accelerate the integration of human design. They're starting to clear away the baggage that they don't need, that unnecessary emotional weight or that unnecessary thought processing that's not really aligned with actually where they want to go. But when we're clearing without direction, sometimes we can get a little lost. When we're having too much direction and we've got resistance, we can get a little stuck. So when we talked, we were like, let's combine our expertise and let's create a experience for people that is very individual, because both these works, like, yes, you can learn about your human design in a group atmosphere and ask questions, but your chart is very unique to you, and who's around you is very unique to you as well. So we wanted to keep the individualistic element to it, because also with the work that I do with the releasing emotions, I can be general and I can address a group, yes, but you have a very specific experience in life. You have an age where something was embedded. You have parents that had experiences that were unique to them. You have ancestors that have unique experiences that got passed down into your body. So that individual one-on-one approach is within this group container, and I'm so excited to be able to just pour into each person individually and also pour into the group and drop my nuggets of what I understand and what I've learned over the years and how I approach accessing more freedom in the body on a regular process, and pour into this group in ways that I haven't been able to access in other ways yet. Super excited. Soul Embodiment Lab, 8 weeks. We start on September 29th. Our first group call is on October 2nd. That's a mouthful. It's the Thursday. All the details are below. If you're curious to learn more and to see if maybe you haven't dabbled into human design. So what the fuck is that? Maybe you're a human design person. You're like, Akeisha, I'm kind of new to your world. What am I getting myself into? Let's have a chat. The free consult, gifted session link, whatever it's called down there, book that. Let's have a conversation. Let's chit chat, or just like message me in the comments. Like, let's get to know if this is going to be a beautiful container for you. I already know it's going to be a beautiful container for you, because when I talk to people who know their human design, there's two things that pop up. What the fuck do I do with it? And am I doing it? So there's like confusion. And then when I talk to people with like energetics, is like, what is my body saying and how do I release it? And in this container, we deeply address both of those. And I'm excited to give people the space, provide the space, hold the space where we can dive into your human design. We can dive in and actually allow you that space and understanding and practice and experimentation space and support to live and breathe and move in your life, in your design, because you have way less emotional baggage, way less energetic entanglements holding you back, saying, no, this is not how you're supposed to do things. I'm excited for that space. So details below, jump on it. Let's have a conversation or just snag a spot. Okay. The second thing I want to just talk about, I've been putting these like notes. If you listen to this on Spotify or like on audio, you already know that I love this company, but from a visual perspective, I have not shown you guys how much love I love for this company. LiveGood. Yes, I take supplements. No, I do not take them every single day. No, you do not need everything under the moon. Fun fact, there are certain things that actually you as a body don't tolerate like somebody else would, but that is healthy for that person, but it's not necessarily the healthiest thing for you. However, there's things you can do to find that out. Take a genetics test. But this company, nonetheless, is my favorite supplement company in the world because they decided to do this industry very differently. So yes, I am an affiliate for this company. No, do I make money off of what you buy? This is a membership model company. You pay $10 a month to access near wholesale prices for these products. So these two products should run you about $40, $50 in a store or in another company or on like Amazon. Because you pay the $10 a month membership, you're getting these products for like $14 or $16. They're probiotics, which are my favorite thing because I believe in probiotics, but I got tired of spending $60 on a product. They're $16 for me. Magnesium, like high quality tested, no funny business, no proprietary blends. Everything is formulated to give you the proper doses of each thing. Everything has been tested for heavy metals. Their certificates of analysis are available for you. If you've got questions, like you have a medical concern or something, you message them. Dr. Ryan and Lisa will get back to you if you've got questions about something or particular product, or you're new to the supplement game and you want to make sure you're, spending your money on the right things. Lisa, products development and coordinator, will listen to what you have to say. She'll ask you a bunch of questions and she'll suggest according to what is going on for you specifically. So you can also learn about all these products online for free on their YouTube channel. They are very transparent. And yes, I am affiliate. I earn a small percentage of your membership, but no, there's no need to buy a certain amount, or there's never a special because it's always marked down to the lowest price they can sell these at, in which case they even got a better deal on a supply of something and they were able to lower the price for the customer. So I'm never going to reach out and be like, hey, do you want to place an order this month for this product? This product is all you, baby. You buy what you want when you buy it. And as long as you have an active membership, similar to Netflix, similar to Costco, you get access at their wholesale prices. If you don't want to pay for a membership, you get access to retail. And no matter what, these products are clean, healthy, beautiful, love it, love being an affiliate for them, and love the products myself. Let's get into this conversation. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. I'm also not going to edit any of this. So, because I don't have enough time, because I get on a flight tomorrow and I've got shit to do. So, owing. I want you to think about, what do you feel like you owe the world? Let's take a second and get familiar with that energy. You might feel like you owe the world so much for whatever fucking reason society put in your head. Now, I want you to imagine you don't owe the world shit. The world doesn't owe you. You don't owe the world. How freeing is that energy? Now, I snuck it in here, but I'm going to say it separately. What do you feel the world owes you? A little denser. That's a little denser energy for some of you, for sure. What if you ripped up whatever contract, whatever agreement that said that that person owed you something? How much more lighter did your world get? Okay. I am going to sneak in here and preface, there is a time and space 100% where transaction is required, where requirements for XYZ are needed in order to move something forward, to build something, to do something. But this programming of owing, you owe me this, you owe me that, oh, you took this away from me, so I'm going to take this away from you, is an energy that is sneakily playing in the background of many of our lives and in the background of how the world currently operates. And I definitely see a world where this isn't the dominating energy, where this is void from the vocabulary, right? This also holds this idea of sacrificing something, which is always rooted in lack. If you look at something and you say, I have to sacrifice myself or a part of me for something, you are, first of all, you are owing something to someone or something. And you are lessening your value. You are releasing something that is sacred to you. However, words are spells. If you haven't heard it already, I will say it for you. Words are spells. So when we play in sacrifice energy, or look what they sacrificed, or someone sacrificed this for you. Again, owing energy, keeping you in a lack cycle, keeping you in this karmic retribution cycle. But when we can flip that and say, whoa, that's an interesting way of looking at the world. That's an interesting program that you would like me to operate in. I release myself from all contracts. I release you from all contracts. I release the world from all contracts. Then we actually get to show up to the table and create something, co-create something, ask for a different possibility to come up. And true contribution can actually start to be the dominating energy of the world. Again, transactions are great for certain things. Requirements are awesome for things. But when we can burn, destroy, uncreate, melt, rip apart this undertone of owing, then we don't have to play this loop cycle anymore. I was on a thought and I'm pretty sure I was like going to that thought, but then I got derailed and now I'm on another thought. So bear with me as I try and find out what playing field I am on currently and what is asking to be delivered, because I also did record this episode about 2 hours ago, went in to go edit the video quickly, and audio was not hooked up. Did it again for the second freaking time. This microphone is very sneaky as to like, oh, you're muted, haha, or not even connected to the computer system. So anyways, owing. If the world owed you nothing, what would you choose? If you owed the world nothing, what would you choose? Who would you like to create with? Who would you like to gift to? Who would you like to receive from? You know, there are people, I've talked to many people who are like, I just don't like receiving from this person. And when we do a little digging, and we do a little expanding, we do a little clearing, it's very often times where that person feels like then they're in owing, like in debt to that person, because energetically that is a dominant presence. And they don't like that. Like, who likes that? No one likes that. But it's so quiet, but very rampant in the background energetics that weave everything together. So I want to keep this episode nice and short because I just want to drop into your world this ask to destroy and create and actually start to clear where you feel like you owe someone and where you feel like they owe you. And if you could destroy and create all those commitments and agreements, how much more expansive is your world getting when you start to like look at this? Start spinning the molecules, start spinning the orbs, start seeing what's possible, like even just energetically, and then see how that shifts and changes how you show up, who you show up with, who you want to create with, who you don't want to create with, right? It's learning what's going to contribute to your life. And then releasing that from other people. That's the big one. When my friend and I were doing a bar session, what came through in that bar session was like, oh my God, she A has to release everything she feels she owes her ex, everything. And then anywhere that her clients are picking up on this weird owing energy that is very prominent in his world, like he is tit for tat extreme and will make you think that you owe him more than you ever did. Like he is brilliant in making you think that you owe him. It's very dominant in his world. And he is still part of her world they have children together, right? So she could sense that there's clients kind of stuck that want her work, but don't want to funnel. Like they feel like they then owe that person, or maybe they do owe this person. And then it gets like muddy because the more money she makes, the more she owes him. It's really great from like a, divorce perspective. And she's open to all of it. But she found that there was this weird energy. And when we started looking at it, we started to extrapolate, oh, interesting. If people have an owing contract that they're not willing to destroy with him, it's not to be coming through her. So she had to like put up that like request, like you owe me nothing when you come into my space and I owe you nothing. But in that relationship, we're going to do such great work. But there's no like, oh, this person owes this person, so I'll be like the funnel. We're all interconnected. And yes, the world is going to work in the way that it's going to work. But to really be putting down those traps, putting down those barriers, putting down those energetic booby traps that then have someone energetically pick up on this like sense of owing, releasing all of that. I'm currently doing it in my business. When I truly gift a session, it's a gift. I don't have any expectation because my job is to serve the bodies of this planet and to help you create more joy while releasing all the unnecessary tension, emotions, programmings, thoughts, feelings, and perspectives so that you have more joy living this life. Because I truly, 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 truly believe when we are joyful and in joy of our body and see our bodies as a contribution, we are not a detriment to this world. We are not a detriment to this planet when we have a loving relationship with ourselves because we are not holding on to everything we don't need to hold on to. So really being like, this is a contribution. This is a gifting and receiving. When there's money involved, there's money involved. When it's a gift, it's a gift. But there's no extenuating energy of owing or being owed anything. And it's very interesting. It's like showing up in my relationships already. And we've only been diving into this conversation for like 6 days in my own world. It's like very dynamic. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. That's what I wanted to put into your world. I'm very curious what comes up for you when you think about this energy of owing, what it brings up, what it shows you, where it gets confusing and muddy. I don't have the answers, but I got the questions and I've got the energetic sense that is pretty damn good. And I have the nuances also. Like there's nuance here, but there's also this karmic retribution cycle that definitely keeps us from accessing our full free will. And there's this sacrificial energy that just is so prominent wherever you look. And I would love to be a contribution in shifting and changing that. So if this conversation opens up that world for you, opens up dialogue in your own world, in how you operate energetically, amazing. If it makes you want to get a little feisty and fiery, amazing. What is that showing you? And then just simply acknowledging, because you might get the awareness, but it might not be actualized and acknowledgeable until a few months from now. So also just be spacious and not think that this conversation owes you anything also. So, hey, look at that. Okay, until my next episode, I'm very excited to possibly have another guest on the podcast. One lady that our session went otherworldly. So I can't wait to have her on the podcast. I've also got some great other guests lined up for you guys coming in the rest of the year and into the new year. Thank you very much for being with me. Sorry I was late on an episode, but I got one in and I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Have fun. Don't forget to click the link below to sign up for the Soul Embodiment Lab or grab a free session from me so you get an understanding of where we're going to go in this lab. And if you're looking for new supplements, want to save yourself some money, guys, LiveGood. Like absolutely no freaking no-brainer. So, love you all. Cheers. Bye. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so grateful I get to do life and conversation like this together. If today landed for you, I would love to hear what your takeaways were. Hop over to Instagram and hit me up in the DMs or leave a comment below. I love reading all of them. And if you haven't already done so, pay it forward by subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing this with someone that you love. These actions directly impact the show and they help us reach a new audience, so I am very grateful in advance. And if you want to explore working together or dive deeper into this work, you can check out in the show notes all my current offers and ways to connect. Until next time, everybody, have a magical and fantastic day.